Hello everyone and welcome to Variations with the chords D and A. In the description of this video you can find a PDF for a very small amount that links to the other videos as well in this description that are variations with C to G and variations of E dominant 7 sharp 9. All of these variations are usable, non-copyrightable material. You can use them in your own original music or other songs that use these chords. Feel free to have fun with them and enjoy learning to be creative with open position chords. Okay, so now we're into the phrases where we have D to A. In exercise 1, D to A, when I get to the last lick or last note of the, the last note of the D little 2 beats, when I get to that A of that, I'm already in my A shape. So I play D shape, and then when I get to that A, I'm anticipating the A melody by having my finger already in position on the and of 2. So in a way, I'm sort of making the A shape chord on the and of 2 instead of on beat 3. It helps to anticipate the melodic content that's going to happen over beats 3 and 4. This happens a lot in melodic content where you have, in the guitar, you have a shape or a chord that anticipates the line coming, and so it seemingly plays the wrong chord over. So I'm playing an A chord over the and of 2, even though that's still a D chord. My shape of my hand is in A. That can be quite difficult to think about, right? You're thinking D and playing A, like what the heck, man? Just try to go with what I'm telling you to do for now and get this hand motion down. D shape to A shape there, then and getting the lick over A. Again, you're going to get it slow. And I'm using a variation of down ups on the right hand. I think I play a lot of just down up stuff, sort of like a bluegrass player. Even though I studied gypsy jazz a lot at one point, they use a lot of downstrokes. I like to use a lot of down and up strokes to catch these kind of melodies and stuff. So whatever works best for you is what you want to find with your right hand. There's no specific way to do it, I don't think. I think it's whatever works best for you. All right, let's hear it with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exercise 2, D to A, we have pretty much the same kind of idea where the end of the D lick ends on that A, and I'm anticipating the A-shaped melodies by creating an A shape on the and of 2. And we have that bend on the 3rd string of the A lick. It's supposed to go down to an E right there. For Hey Joe, it would do that. But for this lick, we're going to bend and go back up to D, which sounds great. That bend creates an energy, right, that pushes somewhere. Or, okay, it sounds maybe a little more tough to go down to that, E dominant 7. Sounds a little more masculine, but it's nice to be able to do both. So you could practice it if you wanted to. Going to the E like it does in Hey Joe, or you can practice it as written. I think either way is going to benefit you because you're developing your skills, right? And the idea here behind these variations is that you're going to be able to create your own variations. And the more adept, the more skill you have with each one, the more likely you are to be able to come up with strong, good variations of your own. Let's hear this variation with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I forgot to mention that when we do this laying over of the A position on that second half of that D lick, that A rings over in the same way that the open strings licks did in the C. So, and it creates this sort of fluidity between the two chords that it's sort of like unmasking the magic behind making this sound so fluid and connected. That A lasting over the A helps to connect the two chords together. Exercise 3, D to A. Okay, we have the same thing with the D lick. We have the A on the end of 2, where we're going to make our A shape. And that A is going to ring over to the next lick to help sort of create the fluidity. A shape with the A ringing, and then we have that melody over the A. And that lick, again, is supposed to go down to the E, so you could practice this if you wanted. Maybe I'll do a video or a section of this video where we combine these phrases. So you can combine this phrase with E dominant 7, or you can play it as written. Again, you're developing skill either way, and that's what this is about, is getting the skills by learning these melodies to make your own melodies. All right, here we go. Let's do it with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exercise 4, D to A, is going to present a little bit of problems because we don't have at the end of the D lick this time the A and the A shape happening. On the very last 16th note of the D, we have of the D chord, we have a D note that's going a pickup to that E on the 4th string. So your A shape doesn't happen until the downbeat or the 3rd beat of A. Right on the A chord is when you're going to now make your A shape. It's a little bit different physically to what you've been doing, so it's probably going to take a minute to get right. You'll have to do it really slow. Right, and again we have the bend on that 3rd string, 3rd fret, 6th string that could go down to E, or you can play it as written. Either way. Let's hear this little phrase with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exercise 5, D to A. I'm using a lot of downstrokes in this particular phrase. We've got again on the end of D or 2 in the D chord, we have a D note. So the A shape is not happening until the third beat or right on the A chord. And I'm using a lot of downstrokes over this A chord. It emphasizes that C natural, which is a blue note, and it's very tense over this A. So there's a sense of tension in this one. And again, you could go down to the E, or you can play it as written. Getting back to the D. Either way is going to be a great way to practice this. You're just getting skills so you can write your own variations and your own little phrases. Here we go, playing this with the metronome. Get it slow first and then play it with the metronome. Here it comes with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our final exercise 6, D to A, has a mirror statement in D and that mirrors in A, A mirrors D. So we have maybe this should have been the first one because it's really easy. All right, here we go. Let's do it with the metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I'm going to get into the short lesson on being creative with these two chords, okay? So I want to go through this in a step-by-step fashion. I'm going to back up and review some skills that you probably already have just to make it abundantly clear that these skills that you're developing may take you days, weeks, or months to get to where you can do them. So as we review each skill that you already have, it'll probably be like, oh, okay, I can already do this. But try to look back on how long did it take you to get this skill? Were you able to do this right off the rip when you first started playing guitar? Or did it take you a long time to be able to do these things? So, you have to be patient and realistic about your goals. And I'm going through this step-by-step process to give you a clear idea of what you might work on for a couple of days or weeks at a time. You might just be on one of the steps for a while. Because I can do them, I'm going to present them in a clear way and quickly. Okay, so let's get into step 1. Step 1 is just going to be simply, can you play this D chord, strum accurately with your right hand? Can you play that A chord and strum accurately with your right hand? Notice the D chord is just strings 4, 3, 2. With my second finger available so that I can get to melodic content, and the A chord is just strings 5, 4, 3. So with my second and third finger available so that I can get to melodic content. So that's the first step, is being able to play these chords accurately with the right hand and left hand and switch between them, okay? We can call that part of step 1. It's just, can you play the chords and switch? There's a good chance that you probably already have this skill. But again, I ask you to look back at your time as a guitar player and be realistic. How long did it take you to get to where you could do that when you first started playing guitar? It probably took a minute. So with the skills that we learn as we go forward, you got to be patient and learning to do them too. All right, so let's take a look at the next step. The next step with each chord, I'm going to do individually without the drums, just taking the time to play the chord and come up with some melodic content. Right? And I can experiment a lot with this. There's no time, so I can try some notes. I can do a lot of different things with this one D chord, keeping this second finger available for melodic content and playing things that are consistent with what we learned in the video, okay? So the next step is going to be doing the same thing with the A chord. We're going to take the one chord A, right, and just play melodic content without the drums. It gives you time to sit and think. It's like, okay, I want to anticipate a line that I use that 3 on the 6th string, right? Or maybe I want to use a 2 on the 6th string, right? Or I just used the 5th string, or I use the 4th string. Right? And you can experiment with all kinds of things with the melodic content. All right, so the next step that we're going to look at is going to be doing these things in time. So we take the drum machine and we turn it on and we start playing along with it. And maybe the drum machine is just too fast. Maybe we need to slow it down. Or maybe we're really struggling, so we have to keep our melodic content really simple. So let me turn on the drum machine and just play some D stuff just with D. 2, 3, 4. So I can be, have a lot of fun just with that one chord D, enjoying myself and having fun. So now let's do the one chord A. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's fun just to mess around with one chord at a time. That's the two things that we've done, is one chord at a time. Now we're going to try to start combining the two chords. That's going to be the next step, combining the two chords. So again, I think we're going to go back to just not thinking about time at all. And I think, okay, I got to get to A. Then back to D. Right? And I'm not playing in time. I'm able to anticipate and think ahead without the drums like pushing me to think and making me make decisions. I can stop and pause and look at what I'm doing. You also have the option, like in the video, you could go to You could go to the E dominant 7 if you want, right? But the point here is that I'm going from one chord without out time so that I can stop and think. Then the next step, of course, is going to be playing in time with the drums, the two chords. So you also could go to the E dominant 7, practicing between the two chords and then going to E if you want. The final part of being creative is to do all of this without the drums and in time. Okay, so doing it in time and performing it with some rhythmic integrity so that you are in time and playing improvisatory lines with the chords. That's really the final step. In rhythm, playing something that has some sort of a rhythmic integrity and melodic integrity to it. Yeah, so that's it, man. That's the final one. And again, you may have to be on one of these steps with the creative process while learning the melodies. That gives you something to do. Learn the melodies that I have proposed and written down in the PDF and work on being creative at the same time. You can do, and you can flow between the steps. It's not rigid. You can bend between this step and that step. You can try new things. That's always a good idea. But realizing that there is a way to be step by step with this is something that you should take into account and enjoy the process of doing. All right, have fun.